your spirit cannot activate you into that disposition. It is the sin in your body that is activating you at that time. So you discover that the same man that responded to Jesus in the morning in church is responding to a Gouda in the afternoon. Gouda. You are not here. So this is why, are you following me? The reason is because it is like FM station. You change to 95 point something in the morning, in the afternoon 95 point. You change station. Man is like an FM station. Are you following? But man was not created like that from the beginning. From the beginning, he was not so. I'm trying to explain to you that man's condition was as a result of the fall. Man became complex by the fall. Are you here? And there is a requirement in God that the first sacrifice that pleases God is that you offer your body. So God is depending on you to see how complex you are. Despite your complexity, you can bring your body and offer to him. Are you here? God is aware of the complexity in your vessel. He knows that there is sin in your body. He knows that there is a human life in your soul. But all of this, God expects you to bring the human life in your soul and the sin in your body together and bundle them and then offer yourself to him. This is the complexity that Paul was explaining in Romans chapter 7. Paul said, the things I want to do, I want to pray, I want to be in church, I want to be in God's presence, I want to live a pure and a holy life. But I notice that anytime I want to do these things, there is another force activating something different in me. So Paul said, in me lies nothing good. Are you here? Now, in order to be able to obey the divine commandment, what is the divine commandment? Offer your body as living sacrifices. So in order to be able to obey the divine commandment, two great apostles showed us a secret. And I will look at this secret for 5-10 minutes and we will pray. Right? The first apostle that showed us this great secret. What is the secret? The secret is that despite the complexities in your vessel, there is a way out. You are not here. You know, Paul is the one crying out for the complexity. Romans 7 was Paul's cry that God has commanded man to offer himself. But I noticed that man is complex. In trying to offer myself, there is another activation. Are you following me? So, in 1 Corinthians 9:27, give us the scripture. Let's see the wisdom that Paul gave us in trying to fulfill divine commandment. 1 Corinthians chapter 9:27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest by any means, when I have preached others, I myself should be cast away. Now, underline the word keep. The word used there is bridle in another translation. Paul said, I what? I bridled my body. Now, are you following me? Now, let me explain something to you before we move to the second testimony of the great apostle, another apostle. Now, in trying to communicate spiritual things, Paul used the analogy of an athlete in trying to explain to a believer how he should be able to bring himself under control. Because Paul said that God has commanded that we should offer ourselves. This is the teaching in Romans 12. He said, offer yourself as living sacrifices. Now, how are we going to offer ourselves? Knowing fully well that there is sin in this body. That I want to pray, I cannot pray. It is the things that I hate that I do. How can I do? Many people have asked me, young people, Pastor, how can I live a pure life? Right? He said, how can a young man cleanse his way? How can I live a pure life? So I'm showing you what Paul showed me here. And Paul used the word bridle or what? Keep. Now, Paul was trying to communicate a spiritual thing using athletics as a channel. Not just athletics, but Paul used the metaphor of a boxer. Somebody that, you know boxing? Mike Tyson. So keep it in mind. Let's return to James' testimony. I want to show you something. James. Come to James chapter 1. James chapter 1. Hallelujah. Verse 26. James chapter 1 verse 26. James 1:26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bredulent. So the word Paul used, keep, is the same word here. Bredu. Are you here? If any man among you seem to be religious and bredulent, not his word, his tongue. So there is something called bredu. Paul called keep, but it's the same word, right? Now come to James chapter 3 verse 2. James 3:2. I want to show you something. James chapter 3 verse 2. For in many times we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to what? Bredu the whole body. Right? Now stay here. Remember, Apostle Paul is using the medium of an athlete to communicate a spiritual truth. Are we still here? Meanwhile, Apostle James is using the athlete of a farmer. Is somebody? You are not here. You are not here. Two of them are trying to communicate the spiritual truth. And what is the truth? The truth is that a believer ought to present himself. Right? Now, James uses agriculture and then Paul uses athlete. Now, in as much as the same word is used here, it's bredu. Please focus here, focus here, focus here. That's distracting me. James uses the word bredu, Paul uses the word keep, but it also means bredu. It's the same thing. Are you following me? Now, Paul, the word Paul used for bredu is the Greek word hypopiazo. That's the word Paul uses. Hypopiazo. Meanwhile, the word James used for bredu, you know, in English translation, it appears to be bredu. But if you look at the Greek word, there are two different meanings. So Paul used the word hypopiazo, while James used the word chalinagogio. Are you here? Paul is hypopiazo, while James is chalinagogio. Now, let me explain something. What was Paul saying? Paul was saying that I have discovered that my enemy is not Satan. My enemy is this body. So what I have done to the body is this. You see how an athlete holds the opponent and is targeting the eye. The meaning of hypopiazo is that you blow the eye till you change the color black and blue. This is why in another translation Paul called it beating the body. Paul said, this body, I will suffer it. I will beat it until the body change color. Black and blue. You know, when an athlete blows somebody's eye and everything changed, the face is disconfigured. Oh, I remember when B stung me, stealing orange, my face was reconfigured. In primary school, I went to steal orange and B on the orange. My mother looked, they couldn't recognize me because the face was. Paul said that in trying to bring this thing under control, I discipline this thing to a level that it changes configuration. You are not here. But James is using another analogy. James used the same word bredu in English, but the Greek word, which is chalinagogio, means that, you see, the same way a farmer put a bit on the mouth of a horse to control the movement of a horse. You notice that people that do large farming, they put something like a bit, something like an iron rope. So anywhere the iron turn, the jockey is turning that way. Have you seen this on the mouth of? So that's the word James is using. So why Paul is using hypopiazo, which is beating the body, James is using mechanism to control the body. It means that James is saying that if you don't put bit or strategies to control the body can control you. And the body can control you and lead you to where you never plan to arrive. It means that in trying to please Jehovah, this body must suffer. Either you are treating it like the... So have you seen a boxer show mercy? So you tell us, Pastor, I don't know what happened to me before I commit a sin. You are pampering the body. Paul said, I didn't pamper my body. One of my daughter used to tell me something every time. Daddy, I don't know what came over me. You know. You know. Don't tell me you don't know. Because if you see how Paul treats his body, you won't tell me that you didn't know what happened. You knew. It was well calculated and well planned and executed. Yes. Are you following me? Understanding that sin has a gestation period. You conceive, you think, you gave it a thought, and the thing grew. And you manifested. So when you are looking for forgiveness, just tell me straight that, Daddy, my vessel was tense. And I couldn't beat the body. Stop telling me you didn't know what came over you. So you knew. Look at how a man treats his body. Give me Hebrews chapter 12 verse 4. We will close from there. Look at how a man treats his body. Your body has capacity to give you another destination. If you don't control the body can give you another course. The body will drive you to a point. This is what James was trying to say. You see, when you have a donkey and you don't put bit on the donkey's mouth, your very farm that the donkey has produced for you, he will scatter it again. The same way your body has helped you in serving the Lord, the same body will still destroy you. If you don't control it, it will give you a line of direction, a new line of direction. Hebrews chapter 4. Are you there? A new line of direction. So Paul is saying that in order to offer this body, they must need, Hebrews 12 verse 4, they must need to be a fight. You must beat the body. You must beat it. Ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin. Blood has not come out yet. In trying to present your body, something must happen. There must be a testimony. Blood must come out. In trying to fight against sin, Paul is saying that, let me see your blood out. Let me see your blood out. You said the young man just heard me, and before I know, something happened. No, we didn't see your blood. We didn't see your blood. Are you here? A woman that wants to serve God, she will die with you there. Am I talking to somebody here? She will die with you there. You can't defy her. A woman that is resolute and committed to serving Jesus, she will die with you. If it means it's her teeth, she will tear you apart like a carnivorous animal. But somebody will come very casual with sin and say, I don't know what happened. You knew, ma. You knew. You knew. Paul said, I beat my body black and blue. I make sure that I commit my body so that this complex vessel can surrender to Jesus. Because if I don't do that, this body will destroy me. There are many people, their body has destroyed them. Yes, many preachers, they have lost their ministry because their body controlled them. Oh, I am a sacrifice unto Jesus. I am a sacrifice unto Jesus. My vessel will not rule me. I receive grace. I receive grace. I receive power. I receive energy. I receive so much gusto. Oh, I will not be controlled. I will not be controlled. I ask for spirit enablement, spirit empowerment. Oh, I offer myself. I also living sacrifices.